Imagine this. Right now, at this very moment, you are facing something that feels heavy. A challenge, a decision, a pressure you cannot ignore. And maybe you think the problem is the situation itself. But what if the real problem is not what happens to you, but how your mind meets it? This is where Stoicism begins. Not as a theory, not as ancient words carved into stone, but as a practical discipline for moments exactly like this one. Moments when life presses you, when emotions rise faster than reason, when the urge to react feels irresistible. Stoicism teaches a simple but radical idea. You do not control what happens, but you do control how you respond. And inside that response lies your freedom. Think about the last time something triggered you. A harsh word, a sudden loss, a delay, a rejection. What happened inside first? Was it calm understanding? Or was it a surge of emotion, anger, fear, frustration? Most of us react automatically, not because we choose to, but because we are trained to. Trained by habit, by impulse, by years of unconscious patterns. Stoicism exists to break this chain, not by suppressing emotion, not by becoming cold or indifferent, but by training the mind to pause, to see clearly, to choose. The Stoics believed something profound. They said events themselves are neutral. It is our judgments about them that create suffering. This idea changes everything. Because if suffering comes from judgment, then peace also comes from judgment. And judgment is something you can train. Epictetus, once a slave, said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." This means two people can face the same event and live in completely different realities. One collapses, the other grows stronger. Same event, different response. Modern life makes this harder. We live in a world of speed, instant messages, instant outrage, instant opinions. Reaction is rewarded, response is forgotten. But speed does not equal wisdom, and emotion does not equal truth. Stoicism asks you to slow down where everyone else speeds up, to pause where everyone else explodes. This pause is not weakness, it is power. Reaction is automatic, emotional, unexamined. Response is deliberate, grounded, chosen. Reaction happens to you. Response comes from you. Stoicism is the art of shifting from the first to the second. Imagine you are in a heated argument. Someone criticizes you unfairly. Your body reacts instantly. Heart rate increases. Jaw tightens. Thoughts rush. This is biology. The threat response. Stoicism does not deny this, but it says, between stimulus and action, there is a space. And inside that space, you are free. Most people never enter this space. They jump straight from trigger to reaction. The Stoic enters the space and asks one question: what is under my control right now? This question is the foundation of Stoic discipline. You do not control what others say, what they think, what they do. You control your judgment, your intention, your action. Everything else is noise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Power over the mind is trained, not wished for. Training begins with awareness. Before you can respond, you must notice. Notice the emotion before it takes control. Notice the story your mind is telling. This is unfair. This should not happen. This ruins everything. Stoicism teaches you to question these stories. Is this unbearable or merely uncomfortable? Is this permanent or temporary? Is this truly harmful or only unpleasant? Most suffering collapses under honest examination. The Stoics practiced negative visualization. They imagined loss, failure, rejection, not to become pessimistic, but to become prepared. When difficulty arrives, It no longer feels like a betrayal. It feels familiar. Now we move deeper. Most people believe their emotions control them. I couldn't help it. I was too angry. I panicked. Stoicism exposes the illusion. Emotions are judgments, and judgments can be examined. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Fear is rarely about what is. It is about what might be. Stoicism pulls fear back into the present moment. And in the present, most fear dissolves. Anger feels powerful, fast, justified. But Stoics called anger temporary madness, not because it is evil, but because it removes reason. Stoicism does not say never feel anger, it says never obey it. The Stoic method is delay. Delay breaks compulsion. You observe emotion like a wave. You let it rise, peak, fall. Emotion passes when thought stops feeding it. This is why Stoics trained inner command. They spoke to themselves with authority. Instead of, "This is unbearable," they said, "This is uncomfortable, not fatal." Language shapes perception. Perception shapes emotion. Emotion shapes action. Urgency is another enemy. Everything feels urgent when you are reactive, but urgency is often false. Stoics distrusted urgency. They widened perspective. They remembered how small this moment is inside a full life. Control is the deepest trap. People suffer because they try to control what was never theirs. Other people. Outcomes, timing. Stoicism draws a sharp line. Peace exists only where control exists. Detachment is not indifference. It is clarity. You act fully but release the result. Fear of failure disappears when success is defined by virtue. If you act with wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, you succeed regardless of outcome. This ends anxiety. Now practice. Stoicism is built through repetition. Character is trained like the body. The first daily practice is morning intention. Expect difficulty. Not to suffer, to stay calm. When obstacles appear, you recognize them. This is what I trained for. The second practice is voluntary discomfort. Cold, hunger, simplicity. If you can endure discomfort by choice, you are not ruled by it by force. Fear of loss fades when you know you can survive without excess. The third practice is attention discipline. You do not consume everything. You ask, "Does this improve my character?" Attention is energy. Misused energy becomes anxiety. The fourth practice is evening reflection. Not guilt, refinement. What did I do well? Where did I react? What will I do differently tomorrow? Unchecked behavior repeats. Reflection interrupts patterns. Stoic mindfulness is purposeful presence. You observe thoughts without obeying them. In conversation, you listen fully. You respond, not defend. This builds trust. Over time, identity shifts. You stop asking, "How do I feel?" You ask, "What is the right action?" Emotion becomes information, not command. Now everything comes together. Stoicism is not about reacting better. It is about becoming someone who is no longer easily shaken. Unshakable calm does not mean nothing affects you. It means nothing possesses you. Loss may come, pain may come, change will come, but panic does not follow. Identity is no longer attached to externals. You are not your job, not your status, not your success. You are your character, and character cannot be taken. The Stoic definition of success is acting rightly. Pressure disappears when attachment disappears. You act fully and accept any result. This creates effortless excellence. Suffering becomes training. Obstacle becomes instruction. What stands in the way becomes the way. At the deepest level, Stoicism is acceptance of reality, not passive acceptance, active alignment. Peace comes when you stop arguing with what is. You stop fighting the world and begin shaping yourself. The Stoic life is not easy, but it is simple. Focus on what you control. Release what you do not. Act with virtue. Accept the rest. Every moment is a choice. Reaction or response. Fear or clarity. Stoicism does not promise happiness. It promises dignity. And dignity outlasts pleasure. Return to reason. Return to virtue. This is the Stoic path. Quiet, firm, unshakable.